Oh, I will back that up. Okay. And I don't know how you feel about this. This is a touchy subject with lots of
That's
athletes and
okay.
lots of trainers. I think kettlebell swings are probably the worst possible thing you can do for your spine because I have seen so many more people who have herniated discs from kettlebell swing catching them
Hmm.
than from car wrecks and stuff like that. So we get a lot of CrossFit guys in here who have tore up their backs because they're,
Yeah.
doing form awkward. But
And I do think that that's what a lot of those things boil down to. Kettlebell swings, a lot of the CrossFit maneuvers, you can look like you're doing it correctly, but not be actually doing it correctly. And so many times it takes a very, I think, trained eye to be able to spot real form issues. And sometimes a matter of 10 degrees here or there in a swing. And like if you're clenching at the top, if you're overextending at the top, if you're letting your spine round too much, you're not a good hip hinger. There's just so many facets of those types of Olympic lifts and like kettlebell swings that do really load the spine up and can be dangerous. And so I think if done under the right conditions and the right, eye and the proper loading and progression of those exercises, they can be really great for a lot of people. But like you said, unfortunately, not everybody is in a situation where they have great eyes on them. And so they just pick it up and try to mimic what somebody else is doing, and they end up in a much worse spot than when they started.
yeah, like I said, that's one of the things we see a lot from our. That's the biggest thing I see herniated disc with for our athletes is the overloading, the bad form, like
Mm-hmm.
heavy squats will do it to people. Every once in a while, we'll see a deadlift. Every like not a whole lot, but every once in a while. But the kettlebell swing stuff we see more often than anything else. That's the only athletic piece where we use the decompression. Usually, it's just herniated discs and stuff like that. But
Yeah, yeah. Occasionally I'll have a football player or something that has had more of an acute injury, or just after years of getting, loaded up doing what they do, we'll see some disc injury. It's not as common, definitely, with basketball players. Granted, a lot of these individuals are still really, really young. So they definitely have youth on their side. And with the acute disc herniations, you definitely are usually, I feel like that 35 and up kind of category. Definitely once you're 45 and up, you see a lot more of that coming through the office. So way more of